Hi everyone, welcome to the Fables podcast. My name is Faith. I'm a knitter living in Kansas. I'm 21 years old and this is my YouTube channel where I talk all about my knitting and other fiber crafts that I get into, but it's mostly knitting. So thank you for clicking on my video and I hope you enjoy. I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear any strange noises or disturbances in the background. That's my cat Terry. She gets really hyper when I start talking. She was literally just napping and now she wants to run all over the house, so I'm sorry. Yes, I changed my channel name. It's now Fiber Fables. I think I've changed it like 4 times already. But we're sticking with Fiber Fables because I think it's cute. And it's different, you know. This is my like knitting fiber channel and I'd like the channel name to reflect that, I guess. And I wasn't really, like, I changed the channel name to Knits by Faith because I was just doing my vlogs because I was co-hosting a podcast with my friend Abby. But I noticed a lot of people kind of have Knits by whatever their name is as their YouTube channel. And I kind of wanted to be different. So, Fiber Fables. It's cute, right? Terry, why do you have to, like, play with everything? Okay. I'm wearing my Semper sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. I don't think I've ever talked about it on a podcast or in a vlog or anything, so I'll just talk about it now. I believe I knit size 4. I have my phone against my notebook, so I'm not going to grab it. And my iPad is also under my notebook. So I'll put all like the information here, but my Ravelry is also linked below, which is Knits by Faith. That's my username. And then you can also find me on Instagram if you're interested as the.redhead.knits. I'll put everything over here. I used Plymouth Yarns Homestead Aran and the color, is it denim blue or faded denim? Or it might just be denim, I'm not sure. I really like this yarn. I had a lot of fun knitting with it. And I want more of this yarn. Did I say it was Homestead Aran? Because that's what it is. I think the recommended needle is like a 5mm, but I used a 4mm and it was fine. Like, it wasn't uncomfortable. I really liked the gauge, actually. I'll put in some like B-roll of me wearing it because I don't really want to get up. So I'll make sure to put that in over here. So that's what I'm wearing. I have 3 finished objects to show you. All of my whips. The only work in progress that I'm not showing is my waffle loop sweater because I haven't picked it up and worked on it these past 2 weeks. So there's no point in showing you that. I also have 1 acquisition and 2 future plans that I will be sharing. So let's just get right into it. My first finished object is my Fornoris Cowl. And it's this beautiful, I get like medieval vibes when I look at this, but in a good way, you know. When I look at this, I don't know if it's like my color choice, but I think it's also like the motif as well. This is by my friend Jenny. You can find her on Instagram and on YouTube as the Honeybird Studio. The yarn I used is Brown Sheep Lamb's Pride worsted. I bought this yarn from Abby and it was like partially used, so I'm not sure what the colors are. But yeah. It's blocked and I'll put in pictures of me wearing it. And I really liked working with this. Well, okay. The yarn, it's 100% wool and it's soft. I think like if you're touching it with your hands, but I think it could be a little bit itchy or prickly next to skin. I did notice when knitting with it though, the yarn would just twist on itself. It's a very overspun yarn. So that was very annoying. But overall, like knitting this was fun, and I would highly recommend this pattern if you want to like practice color work. And if you just want like a nice cozy cowl, like this is just, I love it. And I think I have enough to make the Fornoris hat too, because it kind of comes as a matching set. Well, the patterns are separate, but like there is a matching hat to go with this. Excuse me. So yeah, that's my Fornoris cowl. My next finished object is my blue water wrap. I haven't gotten pictures of me with this yet. I have a candle over here, so I'm gonna try to be careful when showing this. The window's kind of like hiding all the texture, but it is blocked. But yeah, the blue water wrap is finished. I'll like try it on. This thing is pretty long. There, now you can kind of see it. I had a lot of fun knitting this. I started this in January. I'm going to put in all the information over here. Started it in January and I just finished it a couple days ago, so it took like 2-ish months. I used Lion brand Heartland, which is just 100% acrylic, in the color Dry Tortugas. Oh, this is so pretty. So I block my acrylic knits the same way I block my wools and stuff, except I put this in extremely hot water. And I mean, this yarn's already soft, but it, you know, softened up a little bit more, and I just laid it flat and stretched it out a little bit. But the next time I do wash this, I'll probably just throw it in the washer and dryer. But it'll probably be a very long time before I wash it again, because I don't get too much wear out of my shawls and stuff, but I'm learning how to just style them with an outfit instead of just wearing them outside when it's cold. But I'm really happy with this. I would totally recommend it if you want, like, it's very addicting. You can see there's lots of different sections, the seed stitch and the garter stitch, and it's knit like this, so you can see one side gets wider while the other side decreases. So yeah, I would highly recommend this pattern. It's by Tressa Widenar. I believe she's a Navajo designer. You can find her on Instagram. I'll put her Instagram username right here. And my last finished object are my socks. They look so nice. I have not worn them since I blocked them, so it's been a few days since they've been 100% finished, because I wanted them to look nice for the podcast, so I haven't worn them at all. If I'm just knitting socks like this, I don't follow a pattern. I cast on 64 stitches, do whatever rib I feel like. I chose a twisted rib and slip stitch heel and gusset. I think I knit the leg for 6.5 inches, started the slip stitch heel, and then I do 11 gusset decreases, and then knit the foot for 7.5 inches before I start my toe decreases. So the yarn I used is House of Alamode, their house fingering base, in the color Moroccan Mint, and it's so pretty. I keep my knits in the water for 15 minutes, and I don't think that was really necessary for these socks, but they're really drapey, and they grew a decent amount. I mean, they still fit me very nice. I think it's just the yarn softened up a lot. It was a little rumply while I was knitting it up, but it blocked beautifully. So I'm happy I have another pair of socks off the needles. So next are my works in progress. Most of my works in progress most of them don't have a lot of progress on them. Just how all of my works in progress are scheduled, I guess you could say. So I only work on one thing a day, and then I don't come back to that project after I worked on all of my other projects. So it'll be about a week and a half before I get back to the project. And you know, some days get busier than other days and stuff, but I was debating whether or not I should even show this, but it's my Afro Sweater by Heartland. I'm not quite sure where I was. The last time, I know I was on the sleeve, but I don't have a progress keeper marking anything, unfortunately. But a good chunk of the sleeve is done. So I was supposed to be at, like, the whole sleeve was supposed to be twisted rib probably 6 eyelets ago or 10. I don't know if I accidentally put more stitches. I think I might have picked up a little too many stitches at the underarm, or something might have happened while I was increasing for the sleeve up here. But that's okay. I got to 41 eyelets and then I started decreasing more, and so I have this many stitches until everything's twisted rib. So I've been keeping an eye on where it's hitting me on my arm. So it's about like almost to my elbow. So when I get to all of the twisted rib, I'm going to knit it to just barely my wrist bone, and then I'm going to do the rapid decreases and do the rib. Because I do prefer longer sleeves. But yeah, that's how the Afro Sweater is going. I can't wait for it to be done. It's taking me forever. After I finish the sleeve, I'm going to go in and do the neck, which is just an I-cord, and then I'm going to do this other sleeve, and we're going to see how long that'll take me. But yeah, that's the Afro Sweater by Heartland, and I'm using Mountain Metal wool, their fingering base. Actually, they have a few fingering bases, but this is their Merino fingering. The base is called Saratoga. And this is the color Grass, which is this bright green. I'm seeing a little bit of striping in the body. I don't know if that's really picking up on camera because the lighting is a little poor. Well, you can kind of see it, but I keep hitting my elbow on this table. It's not bothering me at all. But yeah, I can't wait for the sweater to be done. And I'm stashing this in this project bag that my boyfriend got me from Cowgirl Yarn. That's what it looks like. It's a pretty big project bag. I really like this. You can fit a lot of things in there. My next work in progress, I'm keeping all of these in order from when I started them. It's my Seline Sweater. I don't remember where I was last time I got nothing done on this. I was here last time, and that's how much I got done. But I'll just show it anyway, just because it's fun to look at. And it needs to get done eventually. But that's the Seline Sweater by Ann Wenzel. I'm using Lion Brand, Heartland, not Heartland, Lion Brand Woolies in the colors Dark Rose Heather and Blush Heather. And I'm just keeping it in a wool warehouse bag. Okay. My dad's sweater has seen some progress though. Not quite sure where it was the last podcast, but the body is done. I think it was done last time I showed it, but and the sleeve is almost done. I think I'm actually I'm almost at the ribbing for the sleeve. And it's just really pretty. It's a light purple color. I don't have anything purple in like a sweater or anything like that. I don't think I've ever even knit with purple. But this is Loops and Threads Luxe Merino in the color Raindrops. I've tried this on and it fits very nice. It comes to a decent length on my body, and the sleeves will be perfect. There is some short row shaping in the sleeve, and you can see all of these decreases that I'm doing, and that's I think where I joined yarn. And I noticed like there's been some overspun and thick and thin bits in this yarn, but it hasn't really bothered me. I just kind of leave them in. But this is my second ball. I still have one more of these, I think. Or this might be my third one. I'm not sure. But yeah. It's pretty fun to knit, pretty relaxing. It's just all stockinette. After this sleeve, I'm gonna do the collar, and then I'll go back to another sleeve. That's kind of how I do my sweaters. I know I have enough yarn to finish the sweater, so if I know I have enough yarn, I'll usually just knit the whole body, and then I'll do the sleeve, the collar, and then another sleeve, just so I'm not going from sleeve to sleeve, you know, just kind of split it up a little bit. Or if I'm just using a larger skein of yarn, I'll usually knit the body first. But if I'm using a smaller quantity of yarn but have like skeins or something, you know, that are smaller, I'll usually split for sleeves or join everything in the round, knit for the rest of the amount of yarn that I'm currently using, and then go do a sleeve, finish the body, do the collar, do the sleeve. If I haven't already started out with like casting on with the collar. I have a test knit on the needles, and this one, it's a little hard to see progress just because I'm on the body right now, and so when I'm done with this skein and I'm not done with the body, I'm going to pick up stitches for the sleeve. But I believe this was where I was last time. And this is where we're at now. This is the Gaon Cardigan Aran weight by Suman. I'm test knitting this for her, I believe, in the 4th size. The yarn I'm using is Patons Classic Wool Worsted in the color Pine. This is 100% wool. I love it. I've talked about it so many times. I'm using my Lantern Moon needles, and next week I'm actually going to be filming a review of the Lantern Moon needles because I love them. So stay tuned for that. This is due on the 31st, so now when I have about 2 weeks remaining for my test knits, I will work on them every other day until they're done. And since it's 2 weeks before the deadline, I will be picking this up every other day. So that way it'll be finished and blocked by the deadline. So yeah. I love this 3x1 rib. Like, it's so relaxing to knit. I've been wanting a ribbed cardigan for a very long time. I've just been loving knitting rib. I have the pattern for the sweater number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and I've had it for a while, and I need to cast that on. My next work in progress is my home sweater v-neck, which doesn't have a lot to show, but it is the project that I am working on all day today. And when I last podcasted, I was at like, oh, that looks really skinny. So that's how big the sweater is. I'm knitting the large size because I'm going by recommended ease in all of my patterns now. The sleeve looks a little skinny. I'll have to try this on later. But I opted to do a twisted rib instead of the 1x1 regular rib, and I'm knitting this inline brand Pound of Love in the color Charcoal. I think I was here last time I showed, and this was all the progress I got done this morning so far. This might be done by the next time I podcast because I might get a decent amount done today. And my next work in progress is my Una sweater. So I have to join a new skein. Actually, no, I have this much left of the first skein, and I have 6 of these. I've gotten a good chunk of this done. Here's my progress keeper. I've gotten a good chunk done. I'm increasing for the sleeves now. And I'm happy that it's taking shape. But yeah, this is also really fun to knit. I really like broken rib, especially if it's chunky like this. It's fun. It's really relaxing to knit. A lot of people say that broken rib is takes forever, but you knit one per one for one round, and then you just knit the next round. I feel like it goes by pretty fast. But I am knitting these on, I think, the 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter needles. There's something in my eye. But I can't wait for this to be done. I'm using this. I totally recommend this yarn. I love it. I'm gonna try to get this thing out of my eye. Hold on, we're good now. Okay. I've gotten a lot done on my Birds of a Feather shawl just because I've been slightly addicted to it. I think I only had 3 stripes last time I showed this, but this is where I'm at now. I think, yeah, I was here last time. And this is how much I've gotten done. I did the lace section, which I thought was so much fun to do. I didn't make any mistakes, so that's good. And I just really love how ethereal this is. I don't think that's how you pronounce the word, but I love the contrast of the mohair and then the merino. It's just beautiful. I can't wait for this to be done. I love it. I'm using fuzzy peach fibers, soft sock in the color Gunson, and her feather base in the same color. And I think I just want a whole bunch of birds of a feather shawls, just because I just love the sheerness. It's so delicate, and it's so lightweight too. Like, this weighs nothing. But no, this is very, very addicting. And I can't wait for the next time I pick it up. I would totally recommend any of Andrea Mowry's patterns. They're very easy to follow and very easy to read. And it just makes, like, even though she has a lot of detailed patterns, her instructions are just so clear, and it just makes the process so enjoyable. So we're getting into some of my newer cast-ons. Oh, this is a little tangled. So I have my sheep camp sweater by Jennifer Berg. I had like this much when I last showed it, but now I've gotten to the color work. Well, I was at the color work, but now you can see like the trees and stuff. So I talked about it in my knit and chat, that I like, this is how I knit color work. So I will pick this one up, knit something, or knit the amount of stitches that I have to knit in this color. Then I'll drop it, and then I'll pick up this one, knit however many, and then just because. So I was just doing the, like, trying to hold one strand continental up here, and you can just see that it looks like garbage. And then I started just picking up one strand at a time, and it looks so much more nicer. So yeah, that's how I prefer to knit color work now, because it's just, there's so many holes when I knit continental. It's so bad. I'm using Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock Worsted. This is Loon Lake. And this one is Spring Ice. And you can see that there's a, well, maybe the camera might pick it up, but you can see there's lots of different shades of blue in this. I'm gonna try to get my camera to focus on me now. It's really hard to see in this lighting and in the camera, but there's like depth to this ice blue color, and I'm loving it. I don't think I have enough yarn for this, so I might have to order some more, just because I don't love cropped sweaters, so I might have to get some more of this, because I only have 6 more, but this has been, I think I just joined, whatever. I think I might be okay, but we'll see. Okay. So all of my newer cast-ons, there's not too much to show, but I'll just kind of tell you what I've been casting on. So this is the Freddie pullover by Emily Chen. This is gonna be hard to show because it's black. But this is the back section. So it's like a ribbed polo with this, it's going to have this little V cable. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why I thought this was like a fully cabled polo. I've had this pattern for a while, but it's not. There's only one cable on it. Well, two cables. One style of cable in 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. It might be on the sleeve. I don't really remember. But I'll put in a picture of what it looks like. But yeah. This has been fun to knit on. I'm using Loops and Threads Luxe Merino in the color Stormy. It's the dark gray, almost black yarn. So I'm sorry that you can't really see the details, but there's also just not that much to show anyway. I'll put all the sizing information over here of what I'm knitting because I can't access my notes right now. So I feel like that's why I've been breezing through these, but all the information will be over here so you guys can see. I'm sorry. What did I cast on next? Okay, so I have the moonset tee. Not too much to show. I'm still doing the short rows, so I'm kind of in the middle of a row. But I love this yarn. I'm using Knotty Pine fiber in the color Whiskey River. And this is a worsted spun merino wool. Well, it's an 80-20, I believe, but it's worsted spun wool, which makes it very drapey, and I actually kind of love that. So I'm using 3.25 millimeter needles, and that's how much I did in like one afternoon-ish. It's rolling in on itself, so I don't really know how to show this, but yeah, and the lighting's a little bad, so I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I'm still in the short rows. I always feel like a professional knitter when I use really small needles. I don't know. I'm just psychotic, I guess, but I can't wait for this to be done. I love the silhouette of the moonset tee. I think I'm knitting the medium size. I think that might be it. I have 2 more new cast-ons, and then we'll talk about something else. So I cast on a new pair of socks. I always like to have a pair of socks on the needles because I love knitting socks, and I would love to have the biggest collection of hand knit socks. This is messy. I'm using Fuzzy Peach Fibers soft sock. This is from her midsummer collection that she did last summer. This is the color Sunflower Patch. So this is a 75-25, but it's not as dense as most 75-25s that I've used. But this is how it's working up. And I'll get this out of the way. It looks so pretty. I'm just doing a 3x1 rib. I put a poll on Instagram if I should just do plain stockinette or I'm gonna try to fix this. Hold on. If I should do plain stockinette or a 3x1 rib, and most people voted for a 3x1 rib, so that's what I'm doing. And I only have one other 3x1 ribbed sock, and I really wanted to have another one, so I'm trying to put this all back together. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. I am going to be doing a contrasting heel and cuff in this color. that's focusing. Nope. But this is Mountain Meadow wool. It's 100% wool. I don't think I should use it on the heel because last time I used this yarn as a heel, TMI, but my feet get really sweaty. And the heel felted, which I think you would want that for a heel, but this yarn gets really fuzzy when it's felted and I think it's adorable, but I don't think I'll do a contrasting heel. I think I might just use this for the toe. But yeah, I think it'll look really nice, even though it's not the same shade of red in here. It's more of a maroon. This is scraps from a colorwork sweater that I did last year, and I would just like to use this up. I'll still have a ton of leftovers, but you know, yeah, this is my next sock project. I'm gonna shove this all back in here. Okay, I have one more cast on, and it is the Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit, and I am using Mace of Skeins Full House, which is her Surrey base. I believe it's a 74% Surrey, and I can't do math, so I don't know what the percentage of silk is. But this is the color Jalapeno Margarita. My boyfriend thinks, I was winding it up yesterday, and he said it looks like a little kid just like threw up Captain Crunch. He doesn't like this color, but I love it. And it's so nice. Okay, so I'm holding one skein double because I only have 3. So I don't even think I have enough to do like the full length sleeve. So I might just, I think what I'm going to do is split for sleeves, knit the body, and then maybe just do like a t-shirt. But then I also have to do the I-cord for the neck. So we'll kind of just see what happens because I don't think this is available anymore. Because I looked at her shop the other day because I was thinking about buying another one, but it's not listed on her shop anymore. So, yeah, no, this is how it's working up. And as you can see, I have a pretty thick fabric just from holding this Surrey double. Because I'm using a 4.5mm needle, and I was worried that I might have to use a 4. But I'm loving the gauge on this. Like, it's not see-through. I mean, it looks like it might be see-through, but it's not. It's a really thick, it's a pretty thick fabric. But I love this. I'm wondering if I should alternate skeins. Just because it is so lightly speckled. I'm getting Surrey on my nose. I've never used hand-dyed yarn for a garment, and I know you're supposed to alternate skeins and stuff. And I know that it'll change like from knitting flat to knitting in the round and stuff. So we'll kind of just see. I might alternate skeins. But I'm pulling from like the outside in the center, so I don't know if that's making a difference at all. But we'll see what I end up doing. But I cast this on yesterday before dinner, and that's how much I got, and I didn't really want to put it down, but my boyfriend really wanted to go to sleep, so yeah, I love this. It's so soft. I can't wait for it to be done. I think I'm knitting the medium size, which gives me a finished bust of 43 inches. So that'll be perfect. I'm going to put all of my whips away and get reorganized a little bit. So I only have one acquisition to show, and it was my pre-order from Naughty Pine Fiber. She did a little pre-order for days 6 through 10 of her Wild Advent. And so I got all 5 skeins on her DK weight base, which is just 100% merino wool. I have the tag, so I will be showing you all of this that I got in order. So this was day 6, which is grizzly in the snow. So it's 100% merino, superwash wool, worsted spun, combed, 21.5 microns, it's a 4-ply, 231 yards, and 100 grams. So that's what it looks like. So this is the first one in the fade. And I'll put all of them, I'll put it as like a little like flat lay picture so you can see the fade. So that's grizzly in the snow. This one is moose in frame. Oh, it's so pretty. The next one is Step Into the Light. $3. And the last one is Frosty Bison. I think this one's my boyfriend's favorite. So I'm gonna try to like hold them up for you. This is the fade. I know that I originally said I was going to use an Andrea Mowry pattern, but I couldn't find all of, I think most of them are in a fingering weight, and I don't want to hold this, never mind. And they were all for like either 3 skeins or 7 skeins. And I wanted a free pattern, so I went on Pearl Soho and I saw that they have the Doty Wrap, which I'm going to put right here. It's just garter stitch and eyelets. And so I'm just going to follow that pattern sort of. I'm going to cast on the amount of stitches and I'm going to do the pattern and just changing color when I finish this skein, I'll go to the next one, you know? And then this will be my last color and I'll just cast off. So we'll see how big the shawl ends up being. But that's what I'm going to do because I find that garter stitch just works so perfectly with a variegated yarn. So that's what I'll be doing. And now I'm probably not going to cast it on immediately, but I've been fighting the urge to, because I'm trying to stick to my plans that I have written out, you know. But now I'm going to talk about 2 future plans that I have. So I test knit the Brora pullover for Brianna Mason on Instagram. She's known as Woolbird, but I'll put my version right here. So she just did a test call for the Brora Light, which is the same pattern, but at a lighter gauge. And I got accepted for it. And the yarn I'm going to be using is Jody Long Airspun in the color Sapphire. I knit my list toque in this, and I have so much of this yarn. I have 2 full skeins and then so probably about 3 skeins of this. I might have to get another one. I'm knitting the second size and I need about 1,500 yards. This is about 1,200. So I might have to buy another skein. But this is a brushed yarn. As you can see, it's 70%. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, that might be upside down for you. Hold on. This is the yarn I'm going to be using. It is like a color fade. So it goes from light blue to dark and from dark to light. But I think that'll be okay. So I will be casting this on. I finished my other test knit for Raquel. You can find her on Instagram as Knitter from Iceland. And that is blocking, so I'm not showing you that until next podcast. And I also finished my list toque. But that's also blocking. I'm not going to be showing you wet garments that aren't fully finished. And I only allow myself to have 2 test knits at a time. So this is taking the Halo Papasia sweater. It's taking its place. So I will be casting this on when I get to my scheduled day for this pattern. And my last plan is going to be the Fortune Sweater by Petite Knit, and I will be using Sakami yarns, 100% organic fine merino. It's a non-superwash. It's 437 yards for 100 grams, and this is the 75% baby Surrey alpaca, 25% silk, 459 yards for 50 grams. So this is the color Kalia. It's just this beautiful copper rust color, and it's beautiful. So yeah, I have 3 of each. I think that'll be enough for the Fortune Sweater because it does kind of have a 3/4 length balloon sleeve, which I really like. So I'm so excited for that. I'm going to put this stuff away and then I will come back. Sorry if I'm in a different angle. I had to, whatever. Okay. So there is a podcast that I would like to talk about. I think some people know her, but Hannah G Knits is a podcast that I really like to watch. I don't know. I really like her vibe. Like, she seems like a really sweet person. And I like catching up with her on her project updates. I don't know. I like following along with her knitting journey. Her videos aren't too long, so if you don't like super long podcasts, she's also another great option. So if you don't already watch her, I would totally recommend her. I believe that's all for the knitting content. So if you would like to leave, then you can. Not too much has been going on here. I'm in the process of looking for a job, which has been a little bit stressful because I do have bills to pay and stuff. But I'm, getting money back from taxes and stuff, so I can't wait for that. Yeah, and not too much. I've just been sitting knitting. I've applied to jobs, but I've had to take tests for them, so I'm just waiting for those test scores to come back. So, yeah. Yeah, I've just been hanging out with Terry. That's how I've sit and knit all day, so that's how I've been getting so much stuff done. I finished 5 things in 2 weeks. Just because I've been able to knit all day. But like I said, next week I will be doing a Lantern Moon needle set review, which I'm pretty excited for. I haven't done a review video, so I will be planning kind of planning on how I should set that up. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that because I really love the Lantern Moon needles. And that's my first interchangeable needle set that I've had, so I'm excited to film that. But I believe that's all I have to talk about. I'm sorry if this video has kind of been not necessarily all over the place, but I'm not talking as much because I don't typically enjoy podcasts that are weekly. Because I don't know how I should word this. I watch knitting podcasts all day and I love them. I do, however, get annoyed if I've been watching knitting podcasts for 2 years. And if someone has weekly updates, but they're starting over from the beginning of when they casted it on, what yarn they're using, all of the nitty gritty, and it's a long-term project, and I've already heard it 70 times, I get so annoyed. And I just skip half the video. Which I think sounds rude, but I don't enjoy that. So I'm trying to just make it short and sweet. I was debating whether or not I should be showing most of these projects, but you know, I have a lot of whips and most people are interested in how many whips that I have, so I just like to show them. But yeah, so I'm sorry if I've been a little bit short. I don't want to be repeating the same information over and over and over again, just because I don't typically enjoy that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and for clicking on my video. If you enjoyed, give me a like. If you like my content, then feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you here. And I will see you in the next podcast.